Hello. Good evening. This is Kai from what, 25th July? Probably a few days ago from when you're watching this. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've played this game. We're just gonna do this as the recording for the next few, like stand-in streams as well. Yeah, if you're watching this, I am currently away for about 3 weeks. I won't be able to physically stream for a while, so just usually what I do is I'll record these so that you still can have it to watch. Yeah, even on the nights that I'll be away. So just gonna play a little bit of this game. If you're watching one of these for the first time, we've done these over the years. Whenever I'm away, I will record these. Yeah, so if you'd like to catch up with where we're at in the story, you can watch the previous ones on the channel. There's an entire playlist of this. So just yeah, if you'd like to, feel free to watch those. Some of these videos were from many years ago, so I'll definitely look really different. In terms of the model, or maybe in terms of the way I speak as well. So yeah, maybe you can go experience the history of the channel. Anyway, we're gonna play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're gonna continue. I cannot even remember what we did the last time. The last time I had to record one of these was like last year. So yeah, let's just go into it. Yeah, I'll also turn on the audio as well because yeah, so just as a volume spoiler, it's gonna get a little loud. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really cannot remember what we did the last time, so we'll have to figure things out as we go. But if I remember correctly, Ace Attorney, it's always murders, right? What happened was that there were two people riding in a carriage. This carriage had two people riding on top of it as well, so there are seats on top of the carriage. There's a window in the carriage that allows the people from above to look into the carriage. The person who was murdered was inside the carriage, and the suspect, the main suspect who we are trying to defend, is a rich guy, okay, who was riding in the carriage with the deceased. Yeah, so we're gonna try and see how we can save him. But if I remember correctly, when we tried to do it, when we were in the case, it looked kind of hopeless. Like it looked like it was gonna be very hard to defend him. Okay, yeah, gotta figure things out along the way as we go. Okay, so this game is a little bit different. There's a jury system, so you have to. I think what I remember is you have to convince the jury that uh they're not they're not guilty. But I remember the first few cases not having that. The first few cases was mostly just you know how usually Ace Attorney for the usual game, right? You have to like debunk some claims and stuff. You have to object. Yeah, this game does it very differently. There's like a lot of different ways to play the game, which is quite interesting, I guess. Okay, juror number one. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Okay, so yeah, the defendant was sitting right next to the deceased. So he's being the main suspect right now. I've simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Yeah, so right now they're all believing that he's guilty. I think only the old lady trusts our defendant. I cannot remember. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence in years. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. Okay. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Okay, Susato is sort of like your assistant. Yeah. So in the other games, we had Maya Fey, we had Mia Fey, we had Yeah, in the first game. I've only played the first game so far and this one. So so she's like a she's like a friend of your best friend. Yeah, your best friend if I remember, oh, I cannot remember. Asagi is your name, your best friend's name Asagi? I cannot remember. Yeah, anyway, yeah, she's like a friend of a friend. So now she's working as sort of like your your assistant because your best friend because of an accident, your best friend passed away on the boat trip to Britain. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm saying this pretty late, but I do hope all of you are taking care of yourselves this week. Yeah, I won't be around for a while. Yeah, but I will still be on the Discord. So if you'd like to yap with me, feel free to just send me messages on the Discord server. Yeah. Hope that you'll all have a wonderful week ahead. Hope that you've all had a wonderful weekend as well. You'll see this video on Monday, I believe. Yeah, so do take care of yourselves, okay? Take care when you're out and about. Hope that you'll all have a great week ahead. Okay, some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. Yeah, so Runesuke is our main character for this game. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Okay. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, so a little bit of a pun. Naruhodo means, oh, I understand in Japanese. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything else the defense says. But but then they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see? Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, so our main characters have come all the way from Japan, yeah, to Great Britain in order to pursue being a lawyer. Yeah. So actually the person who was supposed to go on this trip was your best friend. Yeah, but now that your best friend has passed away, we're sort of like continuing his legacy. Yeah. Right. I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the juror's own words to make your arguments. Oh, okay. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says and see if we can identify, sorry, my brain, any contradictory statements. If we can then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see, so it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against each other to break them down. So we're basically trying to create inner conflict. Okay. All right. I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I will pull this off. I have to pull this off. Bonk. Wait, the judge looks so cool in this one. I think it's because maybe I'm just used to the one in the original game. Yeah, can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Okay. Ooh, okay. Jury examination. Do you guys see the guy like twitching in the background? Yeah, that guy is the person who was pulling the carriage. Yeah, he's like the driver of the carriage. And then there's a few others behind as well. These two, in behind me, like behind my model. These two were the ones who were riding on the carriage, on top of the carriage. They were on the second floor. Yeah. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and draw the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. Yeah, so we've looked through all these already. It's just what we can do is we can press the statements here. But I also don't remember what our evidence is, so we'll have to take a look through the evidence as well. Yeah. Pit them against each other, which is so much easier said than done. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking? How did you know? Well, I took the liberty of doing some research, in case you happen to find yourself in just a situation. Shall I read you what I found out? It is a little long, I'm afraid. Might as well. Please go ahead. Very well. Listen to this. During the summation examination, you will hear the assertions of the 6 members of the jury. In this situation, the counsel for the defense should use R and pit with impunity. Okay? Pit. Having done so, you'll be able to compare the chosen assertion with one of the other jurors. Ah, okay. Select the corresponding buttons. So basically, you're using their comments to contradict each other. Yeah. Note that you cannot choose the assertion of the juror you initially selected. Nor can you choose assertions of jurors who have changed their leaning to not guilty already. Oh, okay. So in this way, we're just slowly trying to convert them all to not guilty. Okay. Once you've compared the various jurors' assertions, work out which two contradict each other. Hit them together with R to pull them apart. Okay. Okay, I have a good picture of what we're doing here already. Okay. I see, she wasn't joking when she said it was long. It wasn't that long, Real No Skill. What are you doing? The first step is to listen very carefully to what each individual juror has to say. And I'm sure you'll start to see which ones might not agree with each other. Alright then, let's get this right now, so I never have to listen to that long and boring Man, hello? She's trying to help you! What is this guy doing? Okay, that's the spirit. Okay. He's so mean though. Yeah, there was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. Okay, let's press him a little bit, get some extra information. Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim and Mr. McGilded. Okay, Mr. McGilded is the defendant in this case. Yeah, were alone inside the carriage. Precisely my point. But could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet? Such as... Haha, well, perhaps that's something we could, all work out together now? Now listen here, maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we're here to form our opinions as individuals, and I have... Ugh. Oh dear, he doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he? No. I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another, like Susato-san said. Okay, so I guess we can't press further for these. Finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm gonna succeed. Okay. Okay, let's see what they say first. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Doesn't her... Hers kind of contradicts the previous dudes, right? How do I go back? Am I... Is it not possible to go back? Oh, you can. Okay, WASD. Okay. Yeah, so he's saying that there was no one else inside the carriage. But it still works with this lady's statements though. Because we do have 4 passengers, but 2 of them were riding above. Yeah, so it still fits with his statement that there's 2 inside. There's only 2 people inside the carriage. Let's see. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say, absolutely brazen. I simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Which is... Can we... What is this vague statement? What have you been doing all this time? What have you been doing all this time? There. He's just typing everything. I should have thought it was obvious. I'm recording everything that takes place as part of these proceedings. And what have you learned from that? For example, at this moment in time, the judge has used his gavel 11 times in... Oh my god, why would you count that? The prosecution has snorted derisively at your remarks 7 times in total. And I might add, each time you have gawped like a simpleton. Thank you. What's the point exactly? So anyway, madam, are you able to explain why you think the defendant is guilty? That is a conclusion I have drawn as a result of the copious notes I have typed. Okay. Clearly, but I'm asking you to explain why you have drawn that conclusion. Please don't distract me. It makes it extremely hard to concentrate on my note keeping. She's not sharing anything. This is going nowhere. Okay. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above. This guy, like, one of the most useless statements as well. Scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. Oh! Okay, so now we know that old lady is saying that the poor man was stabbed on the floor. However, this dude is saying that the guy was stabbed like this. So we can pit these two against each other. Okay.
Objection!
Let's go! Those two statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel. Post haste. Oh dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean? I ask you. We've heard from... Oh, this is so cool! We've heard from more than one witness that they all allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you see that I'm busy here? With what? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Huh. Want to test me, do you? He's gonna stab the... He's gonna stab the lady next to him. If you guys can't see it behind my head. Okay, maybe he's stabbing me now. It was like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. The banker was one of the passengers riding in the floor above. Yeah. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Okay, just for the sake of everyone, you know, like to understand what's going on, I'm just gonna show you guys the carriage. Yeah, so this is the carriage. So the victim was murdered inside. The defendant was also inside the carriage. But there's also a second floor to it. Yeah. So there's a window as well that allows you to see into the bottom of the carriage. Yeah, so 2 of our dudes were riding up here. It was a banker, and I forgot the occupation of the other guy. Yeah, so they were able to see inside the carriage that the deceased was dead. Yeah. So that's how this case came about. Yeah. Our defendant is also not necessarily liked. He is rich, but he's not very well liked as well. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. So his name was Fairplay. What? Okay. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for... what can I do you for, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it... Ooh! It was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. No, don't move. What's the finger pointing? But okay. Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches. What a muddle. Okay. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen? In all good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh dear me. Oh, I can't abide people telling lies. Oh, are we gonna say not guilty? Let's go. So, I don't know what this scale is. It's like the guilty versus not guilty thing. The scales. I don't believe it. Let's go, Ryunosuke. Oh, also this katana is his best friend's. Wait. Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Why? Why can't you listen to me, huh? Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Whoa. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? Of course that's a problem. Hello? that means that we're not telling the truth. One of them is not telling the truth, and if they're not telling the truth, that could mean that they're trying to implicate the defendant on purpose, you know? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that? Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you. Ugh, they're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Okay, so yeah, in order to be able for me to record all these recordings, I need to keep them to about 20 minutes-ish. So this is where I'll end the one for today. I'm so sorry, this one is really short. Yeah, the ones that we're having for this next while is gonna be pretty short. Yeah, but I gotta do this in order to be able to also have time to rest for work as well. Yeah, thank you so much for coming by today. Hope you've all had a great Monday so far. Please take care of yourselves throughout the rest of the week, okay? Yeah, the next video will be on Thursday night. Yeah, so this will be, I believe, hang on, let me check my calendar. Yeah, when you guys are watching this, this will be on the 27th. Yeah, the next video will be on the 30th. Yeah, so it will be scheduled. It will be released at the usual time, 10:30 p.m. my time, which is about, I believe, about 24 minutes before your current time. Yeah, feel free to just check in on these videos. Also send the links on Discord as well if you want to keep up with them that way. Yeah, I know these won't be like perfect replacements for my usual streams, but I do hope that they'll still accompany you well when you're out and about on your week. Yeah, thank you so much for always using my streams to relax a little bit. To watch before you head to sleep as well. I hope that these, like stand-in pre-recordings will also like help you guys out as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, see you guys on Thursday. Bye bye. Take care of yourselves during the week, okay? See you.